What's up, boys? We got Wilfred, Zaha, Crystal Palace. Time to roast. Pulling up in a Lambo. Very nice. Unfortunately, this is one of the cars you get when you get rich and have money but don't know what to buy. Let's go. England, as always, overcast. No sun.
Morning, all.
So, like, first thing, guys, like, when it's cold, I get it. Like, you want to dress warm, no problems. But you want to buy natural clothing, not synthetics that are made from plastics, from oil. These things are not only bad for the environment, but also just bad for yourself in general in terms of your skin. Better to buy natural, warmer clothing, cotton, cashmere, wool, silk, things of those nature. Just those two guys were very unathletic. Now let's see the actual athletes.
Wait. We're seated. Okay.
Here's one thing, guys. All these guys, every pro team in the world, obviously, but these guys are wearing synthetic training gear, skin-tight stuff made from oil. Your skin absorbs all that nonsense. Obviously, these guys are 0.0001% top athletes, so they don't, the effects that are negative, these guys don't feel those things, and, those things don't come out as obvious as the rest of people. But nonetheless, those effects are real. So it's just crazy that that all these companies make them wear these terrible garbage clothing.
Okay, I need to see it, boy.
And then next, they're like living inside of a glass box, like a cage. And what this does is it creates a blue light toxic environment that is very bad for the eyes, the brain, and the mitochondria throughout the body. And it's because all this glass filters out certain spectrums of light, specifically UVA and UVB, as well as some other portions that create a isolated form of natural light. But in this scenario, it's artificial because of how it's been manipulated by the filtering of the glass. So overall, not great for you. It'd be better if they had a building that was natural, made of stone, bricks, obviously, but just natural materials, and then they're able to open the windows and allow at least some natural ambient light.
Morning. One fried egg with cheese, please. I think I need to go and see JP.
So the one thing that you guys will see in this video is Zaha carries around this thing almost the whole video. And this is processed fake fruit flown in from some other region of the world, processed into a plastic cup, also made of plastics from oil. It's just horrendous, and we'll see.
CJP, the tension's killing me. I can't chill, man. I just need to see.
He can't chill because he's stuffing himself with processed fruit juices.
JP's hair. No!
And look, just all of this artificial light. Guys, this most of these players, like their skin types, they need so much natural sunlight to actually build enough of vitamin D naturally to even have optimal testosterone levels, etc., and just be healthy. So these lights, science has shown this for decades, but these lights directly cause a spike in cortisol in your skin and will cause fat gain.
No!
As well as
No! His head looks like a thumb. Your head looks like this.
He looks good, okay, guys? He looks good with a sharp look, okay? Well, anyways, I'm just going back one. So there's this guy on the bike. I'm like, why do they have these bikes? Who thought this was a good idea to have players get warm on a bike and just mindlessly pedal? Because this action that you're doing on the bike does not happen in football or any sport. He should be going for a walk outside in reality, as opposed to this. Like, there's 1,000 things he could be doing as a better warm up than just pedaling there and causing tightness in his gooch. All right, so probably the funniest thing in this video is we have a fat trainer telling this guy, who's a world-class athlete, what to do. Just realize how backwards this is. This guy, Zaha, should be showing this guy how to get in shape. Think about that, guys. And then look at this guy over here on the left. He is confused. He's asking, why am I like why are these guys even in the same room? it's a non-athlete showing the athlete how to be an athlete. Totally backwards. And then obviously back here on the whiteboard we have a bunch of doodling, which is quite interesting. And the guy's also balding. It's not a great look.
Wait, how's that gone out my head already?
So it's interesting. So what they do is they have these guys use these little bars to try to cue in some core bracing, some core stiffness, in the idea that is advantageous for athletes. When it's only helpful when you're doing large barbell weightlifting, where you actually do need to brace the spine in order to not collapse under the weight of the barbell and the plates on your shoulders. But when you're actually on the field, that's the opposite of how you move when you run. You have a spiraling spinal engine, and your head goes from side to side, and you have a fluidity in the core, which is the opposite of this bracing.
So that.
So here's even funnier. So this guy does this little drill like excellently, like does it superbly. And Zaha just like kind of this goes through the motions, doesn't really care, because deep down all these guys know that this stuff is nonsense and it's not going to actually help them win on the field, and it doesn't pay their bills, you know. And then so Zaha is kind of displaying some of his natural athletic talent and doing this kind of isometric that they're having him do. But also, like, notice here the shoes, thick soles, arch support, narrow toe box, all these things, which is bad for the feet and cause a lot of dysfunction in the intrinsic muscles. For someone like Zaha, he can get by because he already has this natural function built over so many years of childhood. Most people cannot, though.
Not exactly tough. Well, yeah, some bits are. The end was a bit tough, but it's basically to get your muscles going. So once you get out there, you don't pull anything or any strains or anything. So yeah, get you started.
Yeah.
So guys, have a pause here and think about, he's saying this while at the same time every club in the world, for the most part, has injuries upon injuries upon injuries. There's players having non-contact ligament tears, ACL tears, muscle soft tissue injuries left and right with non-contact. So he's just kind of saying this just for the video, just to sound, or just to be respectful to the trainers there. But just have a think of what's actually happening in reality. And plus, at the same time, he can go on the field and succeed despite this stuff, not because of it.
I'm gonna train well today.
And again, he has this fruit juice bottle in his hand. I don't know why, man. It kind of speaks to some kind of mental health or like mood disorders.
He can't help it. He actually can't help going past without saying anything.
Alright, leave room.
Usually, I train with a boot for a week or something before playing with them, but sometimes I'll be like, I wanna try these in the game or whatever.
I will mention, like, there are some companies that they're making on, or they sell some like barefoot soccer football boots, and just for the most part, a lot of those companies have no idea how the foot actually works, so they're even worse for football than these guys. Because I mean, if you have a too wide of a cleat, you can't change direction very well. And there's even some companies like putting toe spreaders inside the boots, which is just asinine because the toes have to retract with tension and be locked inside the shoe during movement, and you can't do that when you have plastic in between your toes, toe spreaders. So it's just dumb. But overall, I mean, it's always best to have some natural leather material for your boots. Like nowadays, it's all plastics, obviously.
I have an awful first
But these
half.
things, they're better than super wide, clunky clown shoes because they're at least they're narrow and tight enough so you can run and change direction and be athletic.
Dash them off straight
I still prefer all the leather though.
away, man.
All right, so we have this guy wearing a Bluetooth heart rate monitor. This stuff is really bad for you guys. It's terrible. All of this science has been around for decades. Supposedly, it's these things that are going to track, sprint speed and sprint lengths and heart rate and all these different metrics, which in reality does not determine who are the best players. So it's really arbitrary. I mean, a lot of this sports science, data analysis stuff is really overplayed, and it's a lot of these guys trying to make it seem like they're worthwhile to be on salary. For the most part, well, physically, health-wise, this is horrendous for you, especially by your spine and by your brainstem. Not a good idea. And I mean, like, he looks pretty stiff, to be fair.
Nice and easy on the recovery.
Refueling.
So, question for you guys. Do you think bananas are grown in England? Let me know down below in the comments.
It's massive, like getting a bit of
All right, so we're back with the fruit juice. Interesting.
time to rest after the session and getting some food in you, and I'm about to go and get a quick rub as well.
So all this food is cooked, obviously. Most of it, I would argue, is probably not from a local farm, fresh, organic, unfrozen. A lot of the stuff is very likely that it's frozen in some way. It's not the highest quality, even though these guys are top stars. But a lot of these things don't really come into the understanding of these chefs and whoever is in charge of the food at these clubs. But yeah, like, you can't digest cooked meat like this. It's not the best. And all this starch, like with cheese, like pasteurized cheese, is very, very bad for you.
Thank you very much, East. If you sit down in the change room the whole time, your body will just stiffen up. So yeah, definitely come in to get a massage. Like I said, loosen up the muscles and stuff.
Well, so the only reason the muscles would need to get loosened up is because they spent so much time in the gym doing much nonsense that tightens up the muscles.
Do you know what's funny? People are gonna see it anyway, so why are you trying to hide it? You've got very funny characters. He's one of the funniest characters at the club, so yeah.
It is funny, like, the reason they spend so much time like rolling out and kind of like messing around is because they're all so stiff from the weightlifting, and they intuitively feel that they need this stuff because obviously it's better to use like a spike ball to roll out because it's more concentrated, but rolling out helps a lot to undo some of the adhesions from weightlifting.
You gotta have good banter, man.
I've been here for years, like, compared to the old school Palace now, when you put on...
So the funny thing is, these guys, yeah, I mean, it's, if you have access to like a personal masseuse, great. Otherwise, what they're doing here is kind of like spot treatment. They're just, for example, if someone has like a tight hamstring, they come in, the guy massages them for 2 hours, and then the hamstring feels good. Well, yeah, you like made the pain go away, but you didn't actually fix what caused the tight hamstring, and that is always a whole body problem. It's not a hamstring problem.
When you put on the Palace game, you're expecting exciting stuff. It makes a massive difference when everyone believes in what you're trying to do. If I can let one of the youngsters know, maybe this will help you to get to this place by doing this sooner, hopefully it can help.
I mean, he has good intentions for sure, but one of the things that guys at the highest level who are what I call naturals, they don't realize that not everyone is built like them, and actually most people are not built like them, meaning they don't have the fascial fitness, they don't have the Gota spiraling movement, they don't have the mitochondrial function, they don't have the low muscle tension, they don't have the same level of self-worth as them. All these underlying characteristics that make him who he is. Most people don't have these. So then his advice is based on what he used to get to where he is not applicable to most people. So that's why you have to listen, but not always copy what the natural is doing or saying.
Help them. So yeah, that's what I try to do nowadays. And then maybe, ow! Oh my god! I'm trying to speak through this guy putting his thumb in my hip.
Trying to make it harder for him.
Oh, anyway, if I lose that buzz, then that's when I've got to hang up the boots, honestly. Because if you don't have that love for it, if you don't have that buzz when you step out, what is the point? I have that buzz every single game.
Yeah, 100%, guys. You need to have extreme love and passion for the game, or else you're not going to be able to persevere through all the ups and downs of elite football. As the only love is the only act that you can do continuously without giving up. It's the only sustainable path of work in life. So he's right. Like, you need to have the buzz and you need to embrace it. And if you don't actually love this game, you're not going to go that far.
This bit isn't as rigid as before. We can just do our own thing.
So they're back with the foam rolling. Some stretching.
See, double training, gym twice. But yeah, finally done. Looking forward to getting home and seeing the family, man. Thank you very much.
So, one thing, guys, to consider is in your head, calculate how much time he actually spent outside in this whole day. So he drove here. He was outside for about half a minute walking into the place, and then they had food. They hung out. They were in the gym, and then they trained. I'm assuming for an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, and then they're back in the facility all the way until 3:30 in the afternoon. So he only got about an hour and a half or 2 hours of natural light in the whole day, which is egregious health-wise. Humans are meant to be in natural lighting all day. So that's that. Crystal Palace, give me a call if you want to transform your club and fix all your injuries. Otherwise, guys, let me know in the comments what you thought about this new format. We'll see you guys very soon. Adios.